For the NASI OTCs market, investors were quite tepid on equities listed there. And so we had the unlisted securities index dropping 38 basis points to finish at 612.52 with market capitalization at 414.51 billion naira. Volume came in at 25,274 with a value of 1.12 million naira. So more companies are turning in their results to the Nigerian Stock Exchange as we count down. This is the last trading week for the month of March. And of course, most companies are trying to meet up with the deadline of turning in their results to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, one of such companies that recently did that was Champion Breweries. That particular equity has seen mixed sentiments from investors. But let's talk to Chukwuma Anyanwu, who is the head of research at GTI Securities. Chukwuma joins us live from GTI Securities trading floor. It's great to have you join me on the program this morning.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be
here. So,
here.
Chukwuma, is the market bearing right? Taking a look at Champion Breweries' results, quite impressive. It seems as if the smaller brewery stocks are getting more investors' attention.
Yes, it's not far-fetched. The thing is, we have a depressed economy. Disposable income has come in very low for a lot of people. It's spiking food costs, gas costs, transportation, and all of that has its direct implication on disposable income, and that has been reflected on the kind of growth we saw in the value segment of the market. We are actually seeing more growth in the smaller end of the market, where people like that Champion Breweries operate. So yes, I think a lot of investors are, because of the tightened economic situation, are looking at cheaper brands, for consumption.
Champion Breweries results. What's your immediate reaction to it? Good numbers?
Yeah, pretty decent numbers. They were considering the fact that this, if you check the kind of numbers that were turned in, not exceptionally fantastic results from the value segment of the market, you would want to understand how hard these smaller companies, brands would have worked to be able to, achieve the moderate results that they were able to throw in. So yes, I think they were impressive numbers, and considering the fact that we had a very tightened economic situation, yeah, it's commendable.
But then, taking a look at how investors have actually traded around brewery stocks listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have Nigerian Breweries, which is one of the major drivers. It seems as if investors are not favoring these particular stocks at this time, turning their attention to more other lucrative stocks, if you like to put it that way.
Well, Harriet, the thing is, there is this new reality for, apart from the fact that we have very constrained disposable income as a result of the macroeconomic challenges that we've had in the country. Even before the country went into a recession, we've seen pressure from the brewery segment, and particularly from the value end, and that is because of the emerging threat at the low-end gin market. I think a lot of consumers are shifting towards the very low-end gin market, the very unconventional ones that consumers now seem to be favoring more than the more premium, more refined lager space. So I think a lot of competition there's a lot of competition in that segment, and it's reflecting in the way people value futuristic earnings from the larger players. I think generally the new threat is beginning to crystallize a lot more. The fact that we're in a recession and all the earlier mentioned challenges has crystallized the threat from the lower engine market, and I think it's something that the bigger players should begin to critically look at. It's a market that is vastly untapped. As a matter of fact, from our research, you found out that a lot of these the smaller segments of these players that we've identified rarely advertise. So their value and their products are selling very well. So we need to have these the bigger players begin to look at that segment of the market, because for me, as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of growth in that segment of the market. So we see a lot of value in the lower segment of the lager market and of course the emergence of the new the emergence of the low-end gin market is actually another threat that the bigger players in the brewery segment are having to contend with. So competition is largely a problem for them, and it's affecting the futuristic valuation for how people perceive those companies. Exactly. And I think that's reflective in how the pricing or the kind of reaction we've seen to the pricing.
And so that's why I was going to tease you. What are you drinking? Because it seems as if everybody is having a change of taste. The taste buds these days, it's quite interesting what you get to see on most people's tables. So what are you drinking, Chukwuma?
I'm not an alcohol person,
really?
but I think from what we have seen, the larger population is tilting towards our side. So it's consensus opinion that there is something those people are doing right that the bigger players need to also try and focus on.
All right, Chukwuma, let's leave the conversation here. Many thanks for joining us on the program today. Chukwuma Anyanwu is the head of research at GTI Securities. Joined us live from GTI Securities trading floor in downtown Marina, Lagos. Of course, we'll talk to Rotimi Kaijo, who is also in downtown Lagos, Marina, to get his thoughts on how investors are actually looking at some of those brewery stocks. So we're going to try to get our bearing right. And just in a moment, we'll be talking to Okpeyemi Oguntade, who will be taking us through where the commodities market is at the moment. What actually is driving domestic agri prices at the moment? It seems as if there's a plateau at the moment, short of, say, for one or two other commodities that have seen movement in the last couple of days. Others have actually stayed tepid. So Okpeyemi will be giving us a look at that segment of the market, and then much later we'll still focus on other burning issues, including the FX issues. So stay with us. We'll be right back.